first of all, sort of this season, we had a big change going from 5v5 competitive COD back to 4v4. We're about three quarters of the way through the season right now. How have you been enjoying the change this season?
The change to 44, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard like or seen it like from just all the pros in general. It's just so much better for COD. The way it plays out. It's easier to watch. It's better to play. So just making that change was, I think, a step in the right direction in the future for sure. And that's just pretty much it. I mean, all like with the chaos of like last year's game with 5-5, it made it super hectic to play. So I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, and this season you came onto a roster of Scump, Formal, and Envoy went from OpTic to OpTic. How did it feel to come on this roster, and how have you been enjoying the season?
So far, I mean, the guys have been great. Just speaking on my three teammates. Um, we've been looking pretty well in scrims, but I mean, those are just scrims. We just gotta like actually perform when the majors come. That's like the only thing that matters. But so far, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, and this season you currently sit with the second highest overall KD in the league at 1.14. You dominated really early on with the M4 and have recently returned to a bit of form with the Krig. Do you think Cold War has been one of your best competitive games so far?
Uh, it's tough to say because obviously, personally, like some other titles, I thought I was like pretty dominant, but I mean, I think I'm super well rounded in this game. It's just I don't know. It's just a different, I guess, a style of play compared to the other Call of Duties. Like usually the other ones like are more run and gun, and like the ARs are usually the best guns. But this year, like the ARs kind of, I would say, like evenly matched with the sub. So it's just kind of like who's just making like the right plays and stuff like that. So I think I'm like pretty well rounded this year.
Yeah, and checkmate this season sort of has been Optic's playground, to be honest. A current 20-8 record on the map. What do you think makes you guys so good at checkmate?
It's just got a really good dynamic for a team. You have like someone like Seth that's just in the plane, just wreaking havoc and stuff, and me and Matt just with ARs just taking care of like both the lanes, and then Dill just making plays all over. So I mean, it's kind of like an AR map, but then there's some sub lanes for us to like make plays for our two subs. So it's just a really good like a I guess element for us for sure.
And you're known as sort of one of the best snipers in competitive COD. This year we haven't seen snipers used in S&D. Have you missed being able to use a sniper? And do you think we'll see him back at all this year, or is it a case of waiting for next year and hoping that smokes and snipers will be included?
Oh, absolutely. I miss it. I mean, it's one of those elements in S&D that as a spectator, when I used to watch, I used to always like root for like the sniper to always go off and make a crazy play and get like a clip or like especially at like the LAN events and hearing like with the crowd and stuff like that. It used to be like such a cool moment. But do I think it's gonna return this year? I obviously hope so. I don't not like too hopeful for it, but I don't think it is. But if like, hopefully with the next season, next Call of Duty approaching, it'll be back in because I mean I think it belongs in. So hopefully next season.
And yourself and Envoy, we've seen this year try out some sort of off meta weapons. Even last year, I think we saw Envoy pull out the Uzi on Gunrunner, I believe, I think it was. Um,
Yeah,
why do you
sure.
two players like to use these off meta weapons and to give other weapons a try during these matches?
I mean, it's doesn't hurt to try, especially just like a map or two. Like, as long as it's not like a gun that's completely like just terrible and you're like obviously costing your team by using it and like you know what I'm saying. But if it has like I guess like a good reason to like use and you're not just obviously throwing, then it won't be that bad if you can make up some kills with it. You're not changing your play style. You're not affecting the team. So especially like this year at the FAR, for example. The only reason a lot of people didn't use it was because of the recoil, but I thought I was controlling the recoil pretty well. So I was like, I might as well
Yeah.
give it a shot if this is the one thing that are holding it's like holding people back about using it. Because if I can control it, then I might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, so this next one's sort of not about your roster, not about your gameplay, but your nickname Bruce Batman. I believe if I'm right, it came about in the World War II season. But I know there's a lot
Yeah.
of fans out there who have sort of no idea why we call you Bruce. So could you go through that story of sort of how it became your nickname?
Yeah, so obviously the people that know me that it's like see me from a while know that my sleep schedule isn't the best. So back in the day, I used to just wake up 5, 6 p.m. Not gonna lie, and then an hour later, just hop into some pro eights, and then obviously just getting out of bed, my voice was I guess pretty deep, and it was on stream. I wasn't sure, but like one of the other pros were, I don't know if it was Saints or Slack, but then I just joined, but like I guess my voice was pretty deep, and then Nado was like, "Yo, is that Bruce Wayne?" And he's like, "I'm just gonna call you Bruce from now on." And then I didn't think anything of it, and then little did I know that um Doug, that was my teammate at the time in Older 2, started calling me Bruce, and then since Doug was calling me Bruce, and then like was tweeting about it and was just like all over like the team speak with all the other pros calling me Bruce, then everyone just like started catching on to it. I mean, I didn't mind it because I didn't think it was anything serious. And then when I joined OpTic, and then Seth was calling me Bruce, and then that's when like kind of just exploded, and then everyone just started calling me that, like everyone in like the Twitch chats, and like even when I went to events, people were just calling me Bruce. They thought it was like my actual name. I was like, oh shit. But
So
pretty cool though.
yes, yeah, and this stage we've seen standoff come into the rotation for S&D. Have you enjoyed playing on the new map? I know you guys are 2-0 currently, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, standoff is just one of those. I think it's the best map, competitive map that's ever been made. Personally, I think it's definitely the best BO2 map they added between Raid and Express this year. So, um, our team's good at it, which is great. Obviously, when they took out Checkmate, it kind of hurt us a little bit with our because of how dominant we were on S&D check, but we're obviously making up for it on standoff, which is great. Super excited for that.
Yeah, and that was sort of my next question. You had a 6-2 record on Checkmate S&D, statistically your best search and destroy map. Were you like fighting to keep Checkmate in the map pool, maybe get rid of Miami instead, or were you just happy to see standoff come in no matter which map went out?
I mean, we'd be lying if we said we didn't, try to get Miami out. It's just, just out our S&D map pool in. But we've been actually playing pretty well in Miami and like scrims and stuff. So I'm not like I'm pretty sure for the like at least for the remainder of the season, we're not gonna be like auto vetoing Miami unless it's like another team's like best map or something like that. So for sure.
And so going into sort of a bit about stage four now, you started off the year extremely good in control. You went 8-1 in stage one, looking absolutely dominant. Throughout stages two and three, you were pretty even. You're currently 1-3 in stage four, and it's looking like it might be your weak point in matches now. What do you think has led to this decline in your control performances?
Some of those control losses are just us getting lazy and stuff. And it's one of those game modes that you just have to bring 100% effort. You can't lack and make some bonehead plays, or else it'll really cost you, especially on a map like Raid, where if you don't stack a point, or if you start thinking kills like other than like capping points, stuff like that, it could really hurt the team. And next thing you know, you're playing on if you're just playing against streaks like that, you're just playing from behind, so it's just not ideal at all.
Yeah, and your stage four so far, you're currently 2-2. Wins against Minnesota Rocker and Paris Legion, but defeats to Atlanta Fade and Seattle Surge. Could you walk me through sort of what went right in those matches against Minnesota and Paris, and then maybe what went wrong against Fade and Seattle?
Um, Other than the face series, I mean, they just kind of smoked us just to keep it
Yeah.
blunt. But the other three series, I mean, the Paris and Minnesota one, the ones that we won, we just came out with like a certain level of like intensity, sharpness and stuff like that. We just knew that we had to win those matches. It would put us in a way better spot if we did, and came out with that mindset. And then in the Seattle match, I think we just kind of put off the gas pedal a little bit, and just thought we were just gonna smoke them, to be honest. And obviously you can't think like that at all against any teams in the league. And they caught us slipping. And then now we're in a tricky spot where we kind of in a must win on Sunday, but I think we're up for the challenge.
Yeah, and as you've said there, I think your match against LA Thieves tomorrow night is a must-win game. If you win that, you'll be in the winners bracket for the major. Um, we saw them last night go to a game five with Minnesota. Have you seen much of this new Thieves roster and scrims, and how are you feeling going into that match?
We're obviously super confident going into that match. Pretty much we're super confident going up against any team. It's just a lot of the times these matches it comes down to just if we're like playing how we can play like as a team, like how we know we can. And I mean, we haven't really seen like a look with that specific four, just because obviously they've been switching rosters this whole year. I mean, we've played all four of them this year on that roster, like in different times when they're not together. So I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out with those four, but it should be interesting on Sunday for sure.
And of course, after Sunday, we return to LAN for the stage four major. How excited are you to get back on that main stage?
I'm super excited to get back to LAN. I mean, online COD has, I mean, it's been tough for sure. It hasn't been the best experience too. So I'm just super excited to get back to LAN. I mean, it's fair play. Um, like especially like later on, like as we get deeper into these tournaments where like fans will be like back and stuff. So just that old LAN like tournament style like feel to like the matches and stuff. It's gonna add like just a way better feel to pretty much everything.
Yeah, and your squad has a lot of LAN experience. Do you think that might give you a bit of an advantage heading back to LAN, considering a lot of the teams in the league are fielding rosters of rookies?
I think so because I mean, me personally speaking about it, my first LAN coming in, I was not like ready at all. I wasn't prepared. I was not gonna lie, I got a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? So for people that have never played on LAN, it's kind of a different experience. So to say it won't affect, like it might not affect everyone, might not it might affect people like differently, but I know that it's gonna I don't think it's gonna hurt us obviously just because we have so much experience, like especially with Seth and Matt, they've played I don't even know how many tournaments, and then Dill's been um phenomenal on land for like about the past 3 years. So I think it's gonna only help us. And some other teams we're just gonna have to wait and see because they could honestly be better, they could be worse. So just a matter of time.
And finally, we see some players sort of say how LAN is a completely different game to online, and some say how it doesn't differ too much. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think there is a massive disparity between LAN and online when it comes to gameplay?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm one of those people that just always preaches that it's two different games. It's just the way the game feels, the way it sounds, the way I don't know. Like not everyone, you're not gonna play the same team and then play them on LAN and they're all four gonna play the same like to online. That's not like at least for me personally, I've never seen like that like transition. But yeah, so I'm on that side. That's just two different games.